So let's go into your reading here. The first two cards that I have out is the Princess of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords, let's talk about this first. The Ace, of course, indicates some type of a communication breakthrough, some type of like a disagreement that might have been resolved through action, through like negotiations, also through some type of contractual agreement. It's linked up here with the Princess of Cups, which is the Page of Cups, a water sign. A lot of you might have been going through some type of disagreement or some type of like trying to figure out where you stand with this person, trying to figure out like how to maintain or how to balance out that relationship, because I do feel there are innate differences. There are kind of like difficulties in trying to work together as a unit or try to understand where one another is coming from. So this is a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is somebody that comes in with a very playful energy. And I do feel that the way they communicate, they need a lot of reassurance. They need a lot of validation. And I do see a little bit of like attention seeking from their end, where they're not very secure and stable in themselves. And you're trying to find ways to either provide assistance to them, to provide advice for them, or like there might have been like a conflictual, like interaction in the past, and this is the month in which you're going to be able to have some type of communication breakthrough in order to allow them to see things from your point of view, but also in order to see things from their point of view. So I do feel some communication breakthrough coming through between you and a water sign. Likewise, you can get some communication from a water sign that will really, allow a lot of insights, allow you to understand the past history that you have with one another. For some of you, this can be a mother figure. So like, I feel like a maternal figure coming through, and I feel like somebody might be dealing with some health issues, and they're coming through to tell you, hey, by the way, this is some of the things that I'm struggling with. Can you help me? And I feel like that's going to provide like a little bit of a, like they're saying like an opening when it comes to re-engaging with this person if the interaction has been very conflictual in the past. Okay. For others of you, this can be a former friend of yours, and I'm seeing a very feminine energy with this combination. This can be a friend of yours who has been living a distance from you. I do feel that this is a person that is coming to you for advice, mainly because they are like, I feel almost like they know that you're a very, very rational person, and you're able to give them a lot of insights. You're able to provide some type of like objective opinion, and they're coming to you. For others of you, if you're in any type of like mental health institution, you could be like a teacher. This is somebody coming through for you for mentorship. They're lacking in a sense of direction. I keep seeing like, somebody who is sick. So I feel like it could be like, mental illnesses or physical illnesses. You might be working with them to give them counsel. And I do send some type of therapy breakthrough as well. If you're working with them, you're going to be able to gain some insight, or to give them some insights as to, understanding their motives, understanding where they're supposed to be, understanding what they have done in their past that might have like really hindered their ability to form healthy relationships or to take care of themselves in a healthy way. So I do see some communication coming through between you and a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, that will allow them like a way or like a solution to their problems. Okay. So on the one hand, somebody's coming to you, I feel like for assistance, for guidance, for assistance. On the other hand, I feel like when it comes to your own emotional life, with the Eight of Swords here, it indicates a situation where we are very, very trapped, and we're not really sure how to move forward because there is a lot of restrictions. There are a lot of blockages standing in the way. So you're trying to break out of these restrictions and blockages. And I do feel that you're trying to figure out a way to do so that is not disruptive to you and your environment. It's linked up here with the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups, usually, this is a wish card. This is a very good card that basically indicates, short term, like whatever it is that you're hoping for this month, especially when it comes to like new ways to break you out of your rut, new ways to entertain, new ways to find like emotional fulfillment. I do feel that you're going to have a major breakthrough that will allow you to restore your sense in faith in life, in people, in your circumstances. Okay. So I feel for a lot of you, you're dealing with people that are going through a lot of emotional turmoil in their own life. In the process of trying to sort out like how to help them, you are becoming very appreciative of all the blessings you have in your own life. And you're becoming a little bit more like aware, or even like, I see, like a vibrational state, like raising your vibrational state when you're dealing with other people and you're trying to help them sort out, the mess in their own lives. It makes you very grateful, and it makes you very appreciative of all the blessings that you have. And as a result of that, I feel like you're not mired in this victim mentality. You're actually taking more charge and being a lot more happy and appreciative with everything that you have going on in your life right now. The financial blessing, financial stability at least, or even like the friends, professional associates, family members that are around your midst. Okay. So I feel like a lot of you're coming into this realization that there is a lot of abundance and a lot of things to be grateful for in your own lives. And I feel this energy coming through around like the 10th of the month or so, where you are taking stock of everything that you have, and you're taking stock of all the blessings in your own midst, like, having a house, having a job, having a car, whereas other people might not have all these things. So you might have taken these things for granted in the past, but you're coming to a sense of newfound appreciation and personal fulfillment in your own life. I do see like a lot of home decor. If you have recently moved into a new home, purchased a new home, and things like that, if you have been waiting on a decision of whether or not you have landed a house that you put a bid on, I do feel things happening to allow you to move into the new home, or to like, streamline the paperwork process so that you can achieve a new house. Okay. What I feel is like some of you are decorating the house, furnishing the house. There might be some foundational repairs, like minor foundational repairs that is needed in the home environment. And I do see overall, there's a lot of movement from like a smaller house to a bigger house. You are trying to find, for those with children, you might have like, you might have like children that are under the age of 10, and I feel like they're getting to the point where they're growing like weeds, and they need their own room, they need the privacy. So I feel like you're shifting homes, and you're getting a place that is a lot bigger, that is, able to accommodate growing children. So that's looking really good. What I'm also feeling as well is I see a lot of psychiatrists, I see a lot of like therapists. I do feel as well a lot of doctors in this reading, and I feel like you're dealing with clients that might have that might have like depression, that might be like stuck, like they have children, they might be stuck in some type of transitional housing, and you're helping to facilitate them getting proper social services in order to help themselves and in order to help their children. You're getting them back on their feet so that they can be a well-functioning member of society, a productive member of society, and you're getting them out of situations where they're in a jam and they're like trying to find legal counsel as well. So I do see that coming through. You're in a position of authority. A lot of people are coming to you for your expertise, for the skills that you have. And I feel like you're doing so to enable, like you're helping people to enable them to function in their own lives, okay, and making better decisions overall. What I do sense for other people is just be very, very careful. I'm getting, overindulgence when it comes to alcohol consumption, overindulgence when it comes to like food, wine, alcohol. And I do sense that you're looking for ways to trim down like expenditures. You're looking for ways to trim down whatever, like to cut calories is what I'm seeing. And to also like, figure out, like trim down. I'm seeing trim down costs associated with like going out, partying all the time and drinking. And then others are trying to find ways to trim down like your weight. You want to be to look a specific way. You want to like dress a specific way, or you're trying to trim down like excesses in your own life so that it's not really affecting your financial situation. So it looks really good. It looks stable to me. I do see a lot of new homes coming through, a lot of new places of living, trying to declutter your environment, give things away, donating them to charity, or even like getting new things and decorating your home environment. Okay. So it looks stable to me. The next cluster coming through is the Six of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So let me talk about this first because this is your energy. The Queen of Swords is an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And I feel like this is the embodiment of you coming through for this month. This is a very rational person. They can be swayed by emotions, but they usually keep their emotional state in check. I do feel one of the things you want to be careful about here is be very, very careful that you are not filtering things or looking at situation or even assessing situations based on like what you want it to be versus like seeing the reality. So it's really important for you to ask pertinent questions when you are dealing with new people. Mainly because I feel like you might have like been swept up in the moment if you have like a good emotional connection. I do sense many of you are willing to gloss over a lot of things. And the advice coming through from this card, I feel, is be careful, ask about details, ask follow-up questions. So for example, if you're looking for a new property, right, and it looks all nice and sound, I feel like it's important for you to ask questions about things that are hidden, things that are like that needs to be brought up, or that are kind of like covered up, such as foundations of a house, such as, you know, when was the last major repair done, when was the last remodeling done, and you know, the like looking at the foundation of something. This can be in a relationship, it can be with the housing situation. So it's asking you to be very, very objective. Ask all the pertinent questions before you make up your mind how you feel about a specific situation or how you feel about a person before you decide to move forward with things, okay? So be a little bit more objective, have a keen eye for detail so that you can like I'm almost seeing like so that you're not fooled, because I feel like you might be, you know, you might see a nice sparkling new house and it had like very, very quick cosmetics changes to it, but the structural integrity is not sound. Or it's like built on a really faulty area, like it's built on a fault line. I see it being built on a cliff or something like that. So you really want to ask these questions before you invest fully in a new place of living. And then for others of you, they're saying that, you know, with custody issues regarding children, regarding like where children are going or coming for the holiday seasons, I do feel that you're going to be able to get what you want as it pertains to children. Even custody issues, things are going to come your way when it comes to like child rearing practices, when it comes to like if there has been disagreements regarding children, how to raise children between two parents, where to raise them in, or even custody battles and things like that. I do feel that you're going to be able to make your case, and they're telling you to be as rational about this as possible. Think about what's best for them versus like what you want, okay? So this is not a month to take things lying down. It's kind of like a month to really fight for the things that you believe in, but doing so with logic rather than with emotions. I do sense that's going to bode well, and it's going to be in your favor to do so, okay? So be a little bit more objective when presenting facts, when trying to make a case, when trying to persuade other people. And then for others of you, I feel like, you know, this is a Mercury retrograde month. And the shadow period is going to span all through December. So we're in the midst of the entire month, is pretty much in the midst of the Mercury retrograde season. With the Six of Cups here, it usually indicates a past energy returning from the past, okay? And this is somebody that is coming back from the past, somebody that you might have left behind, and they are coming through as if trying to reconnect, trying to reconcile, or trying to make a reappearance in your life. And I feel like for a lot of you, you might have been dealing with a water sign. Excuse me for my runny nose. You might have been dealing with a water sign, a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. And I feel like somebody is trying to, reemerge from the past, and there is some type of communication. And I feel like you're not really sure what to do with this information. And your first instinct is, jump in it and, figure out like what they want. Your first instinct is bombard them with questions like, hey, what do you want? And be very, very straightforward. They're telling you to be a little bit crafty about this with this Seven of Swords here. This is about being indirect. This is about kind of like teasing out the details, teasing out informations from the other person in a very indirect manner. So I feel like if it pertains to another person coming through from the past and there's communication, and you're just like, what do I want to do with this information? It's in your best interest to try to like, take a step back. Don't reveal so much of yourself. Don't reveal your cards, and see what they want. I do see for some of you who are a little bit younger, I see like drunken communication, like from a water sign. Okay, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This might be somebody you were romantically involved with. I feel like they've had too much to drink. There's like, I see text messages that might have been, misspelled text messages coming through from your end, and you're just like, that didn't make sense. What do they want? And then I feel like that's just maybe they're intoxicated, or maybe they were just, trying to get a rise out of you, trying to like see how you're going to respond to them. So they send something very cryptic, or they send something like when they're not sober, and there are like a lot of misspelled words. Okay, so there is some attempts at communication coming through from a water sign, and I feel like it's leaving you at a loss for words because you're not really sure what to do. And they're telling you as well, I feel like this might be somebody even that you've had children with, or you share children with. It could also be somebody from your past that you've dated. It just didn't really take off, and now you have a second chance to, see if you want to re-engage or see if you want to let it go. Okay, so that's coming in. The last cluster that comes up here is the Princess of Pentacles. So this is the Page of Pentacles, which usually denotes to me a new job. This is like a new training opportunity, a skills upgrade in order to secure a new job, or in order to increase your income earning potential at a current work environment. It's linked up here with the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is kind of like, this is it's not a great card. It indicates some type of sneaky behavior, some type of like underhanded dealings as well. So I'm going to talk about both of these cards as a unit. First of all, I feel like for some of you, I feel that you are doing some type of training or some type of performance review. You're under some type of training. You're doing some type of performance review, or you are trying to like get a promotion or trying to like rise up in your work environment. And it's really important for you to like, I feel honestly, because you're showing up here as the Queen of Swords, you're a very no nonsense type of person, okay? Because this is your energy. And I feel like in your environment, even though you might have been at a place for a really long time, I feel like there weren't a lot of opportunities for advancement within that work environment. And mainly because people didn't really look at the skills. They were looking at, who am I compatible with? So there's almost a sense of like favoritism in the work environment. Like, they didn't care who worked hard or, who was really good at their job. They promoted based on, their emotional rapport with another person. So even if you're in a governmental agency, I feel like that sense of favoritism can still be there. And I feel like you're looking at this and you're just thinking, that's not really fair. I really put in my, like I put in a lot of work in this work environment, and I feel like I'm learning all the skills necessary. So I feel like you might be in a position to like talk to supervisors or even managers in order to get some type of like recommendation, in order to get some type of like good performance review, in order for you to advance to that next level in your professional life. And I feel honestly that a lot of you might be kind of sick of the favoritism that is happening in your work environment. So you're thinking about, looking for work elsewhere, looking for another job, looking for another position outside of the company. And once you land that, you might just like unexpectedly, leave them behind and quit. So while you're doing the job, you're doing some type of clandestine covert, like, job hunt. And I feel for many of you, you have a lot of skills that potential employers would really like. And so you feel like you're being underpaid in this current work environment, and you're trying to branch out. You're trying to find options that are made available to you. So you're applying for a lot of places. And, if you are currently working right now, I do feel that the next job that's coming through, I do sense that you want to reassess carefully what doesn't seem like, the most striking choice. It actually can work out for you. So just branch out. Just don't rule things out yet, mainly because this month it brings about confusing energy. You are also ruled by the planet Mercury, so it is not the best time for you to make these major decisions. Okay, definitely branch out and look for work, and go on these interviews, but really sit still for a moment before you decide on which one you want to scrap away and which ones you want to keep in the future for yourself. Just be careful about that, because everything is pretty much up in the air for this month, and what you see is not always what you get. So I feel like it would be in your best interest to try to hold off a little bit. What I'm also feeling is, with this combination, I'm also sensing like a lot of you have already gone through a major growth spurt when it comes to, where you are currently employed. There might have been like a successful training seminars or even modules that have been completed. And at this point, you're just like, I'm not really learning and progressing in this work environment anymore. So you're looking for something new. You haven't done the whole job application process yet, but I feel like you're putting your feelers out there to see what's available. And I feel like you're doing it in a way where, you feel like, oh, I can make more money here at this new agency. So I need to like, start branching out and start like negotiating salary at my current place so they can match whatever I feel that I should be paid. So that's coming in. It looks very good. It looks very strategic. And I feel like it's a very smart move on your end. Okay. So if you feel like you deserve a raise, or you feel like you need to be earning a lot more based on your skills and your assets that you're bringing to the table, definitely ask for, letters of recommendation, or even like performance reviews. And then if it's a favorable performance reviews, it would be in your best interest to try to work for, to try to ask for a raise. So it would be in your very best interest if you're thinking about that, because I feel like you have a lot of technical skills. You would be a good asset to any company. So at this point, it's really important for you to take care of yourself and, really decide on what you really need financially based on your position, and what you should or should not settle for any longer. Okay. And especially if you've been feeling like you have been underpaid for quite some time. Now, what's coming through in your advice? Let's look at this situation. First of all, it looks very good with the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is a card about expansion, okay? This is a card about like learning new skills, applying those new skills in a practical way in real life to solve problems that are coming through in the work environment. This is a card about collaboration. This is a card about like people sharing ideas, exchanging ideas, and exchanging, all of these things in order to find a solution. A lot of the times it basically indicates like business expansion, getting a new branch, expanding the business, getting like a bigger venue, getting a bigger house, and things like that. Bigger office as well. So I feel there is going to be a lot of success coming through for those of you who are either self-employed, partner up with other people in order to like run your own business and things like that. Because I do feel opportunities for expansion, opportunities for like hiring more people, training more people, that's coming through. And you're going to be in a position where you are going to have to like uh, step into the spotlight in order to relay information. A lot of you might be kind of like called upon to do some type of presentation. I do see PowerPoint. I do see a lot of use of technology. And I see like projectors, PowerPoints, presentation. I do see like investment opportunities. If you're like standing in front of investors and you're trying to appeal to them, they say to be very, very clear and objective. It should be a rational appeal to persuade the other party rather than an emotional appeal. Okay, so that's the first thing. There is great opportunity for business improvement, improving your expanding your business, improving your skills, training new people, and people are coming to you for your skills and expertise. First of all, we do have the King of Wands as well as the King of Cups. So for some of you, you might be trying to decide, you might have a job here. There is a sense of like loyalty to your current job, but not getting enough, like you don't feel like you're entirely appreciated. And you feel like the current job, there might be like that sense of favoritism. And I feel that the current job might want to ship you further away in order to like work for another branch or run another branch or even like train at another branch. And I feel like you might want to stay still. So there are opportunities coming through on the work front as it pertains to like, doing jobs or doing work that you feel is a lot more emotionally fulfilling for you. There might also be travel associated with that in order to land that job. So you're kind of like straddling between the two. Do I continue doing like, creative work that is not very stable, or do I work for in another setting where, the financial situation might not be stable, but I'm a lot happier. So you're grappling between these choices, okay? I'm going to do your love reading next, but both of these indicates to me like some type of a love partnership as well. But because it's a water energy and also a fire energy, I feel like in a work environment, you are having to deal with another person that is very, very different from you. So it's kind of like fire and water. And both of these elements are very like they're in opposition with one another. So there are going to be creative differences in a work environment if you are collaborating. One person wants this, the other person wants this. It could even be as major as one person wants to expand, the other person is just like, no, let's just keep the status quo. So I feel like this energy permeating in your work environment where you might be called to play mediator between people. Okay, so I do sense that this is a good month for you to step up into the limelight in order to give your expertise, in order to like be called upon to present whatever it is that you find or to present your ideas. I do see it being a very, very career focus oriented type of month. So make sure you are dressed at your best. You make sure you always have, like if you're in an office and you tend to dress a little bit more informally, it's important to try to, have like that backups, business suit, dress suit, whatever it is, because I feel like some last minute type of function where you need to like provide your expertise, provide your opinion. So that's coming through. Let me see if there's anything else coming in. They are saying here that, you're collaborating. They're saying like in a work environment, you might be collaborating with a friend. And I feel like not only do you have creative differences, but I feel like this is a friend. So you need to find a very diplomatic way to tell your friend that, maybe we're not suitable for partners, or maybe, finding a sugar-coated way to tell your friend that maybe they don't have the best ideas even, okay?